Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Chris.
And I'm Oliver.
We're the founders of QTex AI, and we're enabling engineers to build better products faster. Let's talk about the problem. We spoke to a large multinational tech company, and in their team, they have over 100 engineers just doing electronics work. This involves selecting microchips for designs, designing circuit boards, and doing product Q&A. It took 5 of their engineers a total of 60 hours, costing the company $4,500 to find a single microchip. Not even do any design work, just find the microchip. This Amazon Kindle from 10 years ago has over 50 microchips in it. That would cost over $200,000 just doing research on what chips to use, not even starting the design work. With our tools, 2 engineers were able to do it in 30 minutes at a cost of under $40, equaling a 99% savings in time and cost. And this would save the company over $8 million annually. So let's recap the problem. Research and development is just so expensive, and a huge driver for this is the level of complexity that engineers face when reading technical documents. This data sheet is over 500 pages, and it's for one microchip. When you scale that up to the tens or hundreds of chips that are in a device today, the cost for companies and for engineers in time and monetary value is just too high, and it's really an impossible task to do. And existing tools today just don't do a good job at managing the huge amounts of data and making it presentable for engineers. So let's give you a preview of our platform. And to the beta testers I see here, this UI will be rolling out soon. Big asterisk on that. Hey, PartWise, can you find me a microprocessor with an AI accelerator? I'm also going to need I2C, SPI, USB, and CAN bus support. Thanks, that looks good, but I like to have options. Can you suggest some alternatives? Great, I think I like the AM625. Let's get pricing for it from suppliers in real time. Now we'll save it to a project and put one of these price results in our bill of materials or BOM. Now we can see this among all of our projects. Let's take a look at what that it looks like. So here we can see the bill of materials with any number of parts that we added, with pricing updated in real time, and our chat history, so you can come back to this at any time you want. Comparing this to one of our competitors, Octopart, which is one of the popular search engines, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll type in microprocessor. There's no filter for an AI accelerator, so I'm already at a disadvantage. But I can select the interfaces I need, right? I2C, SPI, USB, CAN bus, and I see that there are over 23,000 options. This is an impossible task. I can't go through 23,000 things, right? Raise your hand if you can go through 23,000 things. Okay, one person. So for each of these, you need to read a portion of this data sheet. It's just an insurmountable task, and that's why products are so expensive and why things take so long to develop.
So now let's quickly recap that solution. What we're doing is we're developing AI-enabled tools that help electrical engineers find the parts they need 99% faster. We're doing this by using a simple, intuitive, and powerful conversational interface that allows these engineers to look for parts in a more human and natural environment and manner, the same way you would go up to your coworker and say, "Hey, Steve, I need a part to help me do this." And we're doing all this with custom data management and search tools that we've built in-house that help engineers not just find a part that helps solve their problem, but the perfect part to solve their problem, allowing them to go to market 30% faster than they've been able to in the past. Now, how do we compare against our competition? Well, as Chris just showed you, our competition uses the standard table search, which is just at this point getting inefficient due to the amount of data in this massive stack of papers that you have to go through. And with anywhere from 50 to 10,000 results, reading 10,000 documents that are 500 pages long just isn't feasible for the current market. Now, in our case, with our product PartWise, we're able to condense that information for engineers, find them 2 to 3 parts that work, give them an interface where they can ask follow-up questions, understand how that part fits into their project, and ultimately only have to read one data sheet that's for the part they're implementing, not for the parts they'll never use in their project. Now let's do a quick pricing comparison. An industry expert in this, Silicon Expert, who is an enterprise level solution, can cost engineering teams around $10,000 per seat, which means this is entirely unreachable for most small to medium engineering firms. In our case with PartWise, we are only $1,500 per seat per year, allowing us to be reachable to those small to medium-sized businesses while still offering that enterprise-level support.
Let's talk about why we're the perfect team to solve this problem. I'm Chris Dagger, as I said, and I've been designing electronics for over 10 years. I'm combining this with my extensive AI experience from my doctoral research, and I'm primarily focusing on product and tech. As a result of this, we were able to build the platform that you saw earlier in about 3 months for less than $5,000, which is insanely competitive. Our other competitors are spending millions of dollars and can't pull this off.
And I'm Oliver MacDonald. I'm a local marketing and design consultant who's been able to raise over $100,000 in the last 3 years for multiple nonprofit groups here in the Treasure Valley. And I'm using my experience to help make sure we have a great sales and marketing plan so that we can meet the same speed that we're developing with the amount of licenses we are selling to those in the local and global markets.
We also have a fantastic team of advisors who helps make connections for us that we either wouldn't be able to make otherwise or would take too long, so we can grow our business quickly.
Now, let's look a bit at our traction. We've only been doing this for about 8 months. And in those 8 months, as Chris said, we spent less than $5,000 getting us from a $5 MVP Chris built in a weekend in September to a full platform ready to beta test with 4 companies on board this March that we will soon be translating to actual sales here in May as we do our first public launch, targeting at least to have a 25% conversion in our current beta testers, and from there start getting more sales across the local and global market. Now, engineering is a massive market with global giants like Micron here in the Valley. But let's take a step back and look at just our local area. US Census data says there's 7,500 companies just in the Pacific Northwest that could use our product. Now, if you take an average of about 10 engineers per firm at our $1,500 price per license per year, you're looking at over $100 million in annual revenue just for the Pacific Northwest, not accounting for the rest of the US or the global market. And with that, we are mainly a subscription-based revenue model. We are selling licenses, and that's what we're focusing on right now to make sure engineers get what they need. But we're not forgetting about the other avenues we can take down the line to really target the problem as a whole.
Our next steps for the 3 to 6 months that are coming up are to raise a small amount of money so that we can hire engineering to help with the front end and cloud deployments so that I can focus more on our secret sauce, right, the search. Make some strategic hires for marketing to help Oliver with the sales leads and conversions. We're looking to get at least 20 companies in Idaho on our platform by the end of the year. And as Oliver said, we're currently doing beta testing. So anyone here, if you design electronics or you know somebody who does, please feel free to reach out to us or get them in touch with us. The beta is totally free, and we're happy to get people on it. Thank you guys so much. We're QTech's AI, and we're enabling engineers to build better products faster.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Okay.
What percentage of the market were you projecting for the Pacific Northwest?
For the Pacific Northwest, what we did was we looked at US Census data for 3 specific categories of, and I apologize, I'll get this acronym wrong, but the actual engineering development categories that exist for the census data, saying these are what these companies serve. And that's what we pulled for that 7,500 companies.
Hi. So what's the difference between doing all these and going to ChatGPT? Because I can do the same thing to ChatGPT, and not only that, it'll give me whether the vendor has a spot, which is pretty cool.
So thank you. We actually get that question a lot. ChatGPT is only trained up to a certain date, and so it misses a lot of new releases of microchips. We have a much more up-to-date database. Our database is also built specifically from microchips, so it is designed really for electrical engineers to help them find the product they need. And a lot of work goes into our database to make it efficient to search, robust, really fully featured. ChatGPT also, although it can do Google searches, it doesn't really do well at pulling supplier data in real time. We have integrations with supplier APIs to get real-time pricing in stock, and we can even do a click-to-cart. That's coming up soon as well. So engineers can go straight from our platform to a cart and purchase the parts they need immediately.
All right, this will be our last question. I'm not an engineer, but this seems incredible. I just wanted to ask, once you get the correct chip recommended to you, what kind of man hours does it take to essentially verify that that is the perfect chip? Is that ordering it, using it? Is that going through the book you just talked about? Like, because obviously it cuts down the total man hours, but what kind of manual input does it still need?
Yeah, so it's conversational, so you can ask follow-up questions. You can even ask how this chip compares to another chip. It essentially turns the document you're looking at into a chatbot. So you can get all the information you want right at your fingertips immediately. So the exact man hours depends on what specifically you're doing, but it does save time. Actually, anecdotally, we were testing this out ourselves, and we asked our system a question, and it gave us the correct answer faster than Oliver was able to find it by doing a keyword search in the document.
All right, that was Chris and Oliver with Q-Text AI.